You see this picture of this woman right here? Her name is Delores Reyes. Now, this apparently is a black woman who is married, I guess, to a person with a Hispanic surname. And she is a Republican. This woman is a loudmouth, stupid, yes, I did say stupid, not knowing jack shit about damn near anything, Donald Trump ass kisser. Okay? Now, I have done at least one video on her before where she ignores basically every fact that you put in front of her to the point that it's worthless and useless even to talk to this woman about anything. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of, number one, her lack of any kind of knowledge, but just speaking out of her ass. And then I'm going to jump back to this situation with Donald Trump getting on union representatives for the workers of Carrier, and how Donald Trump got pissed off because one of the workers called him out for straight out lying about his involvement in getting the Carrier deal done, etc., etc., etc. So bear with me for a second. Here's an example of this woman defending Donald Trump and even bringing him into situations excuse me, where Donald Trump's name shouldn't even be brought into the conversation. And then she's going to show her ignorance as far as knowing what agencies have oversight over various cable news networks.
They called President Trump a racist, a bigot, misogynist, anti-Mexican, and anti-Arab, while all along they were...
Now, why is she bringing Trump into this? Let me run this back and play this again.
CNN has two faces. They called President Trump a racist, a bigot, misogynist, anti-Mexican, and anti-Arab, while all along they were anti-black employees, particularly black male employees, all the while. Where is Victor Blackwell and Chris Cuomo when you need them? CNN broadcast license need to be revoked.
Well, first of all, CNN is a cable network, so they don't have a broadcast license. They're not governed by the FCC. FCC only governs broadcast, over-the-air broadcast networks or radio stations. Faraji.
So she didn't even know what she was talking about. But what the hell does Donald Trump have to do with all of this? You could maybe give her a pass on not knowing about the fact that the FCC has nothing to do with this. But again, I'm asking the question, why is she bringing Donald Trump into this to basically defend Donald Trump and basically to attack CNN for its statements regarding Donald Trump? That's one. Now, let's go to her loudmouth, non-understanding talk regarding the situation with the Carrier company and how she basically ignores everything in this particular situation as far as Mike Pence was the one who actually got this deal done. And number two, Donald Trump basically wasn't even involved in it other than publicly calling out Carrier and trying to take credit for something that he had nothing to do with. Now, this is going to be, excuse me, this dental thing is getting me. This is going to be a rather long clip. And she's going to jump in here again, defending Donald Trump, ignoring all of the facts, all of them.
Donald Trump has taken lots of credit for a deal that the Carrier Corporation made with Indiana to keep about 1,100 manufacturing jobs from moving to Mexico. But Chuck Jones, the president of the local United Steelworkers Union that represents workers at Carrier's Indianapolis plant, says Carrier told him that only 730 union jobs would be saved and accused Trump of, quote, lying his ass off, unquote. Well, Trump didn't like that. He blasted Chuck Jones on Twitter last night. Quote, Chuck Jones, who is president of United Steelworkers 1999, has done a terrible job representing workers. No wonder companies flee country. Next tweet. This is the second tweet. If United Steelworkers 1999 was any good, they would have kept those jobs in Indiana. Spend more time working, less time talking, reduce dues. Now, folks, last night Chuck Jones was on Aaron Burnett's show on CNN. He also was on Lawrence O'Donnell's show on MSNBC. And on those shows, Chuck Jones said that the union gave back $23 million in concessions to Carrier to keep the jobs in Indiana. Carrier told them they needed $65 million in savings in order to achieve their goal. That's why they were moving the jobs to Mexico. Jones said to Lawrence O'Donnell that if they gave back $65 million in concessions, he said that means the workers would have had to work for about $5 an hour. That's the minimum wage. So for months, this union has been working and negotiating with Carrier, but Donald Trump says they were not. Let's go to our panel. Faraji, Delores, and Ray. First of all, Dolores, you are a Republican.
Yes.
You supported Donald Trump.
Yes, I did.
This is a grown man who is the president-elect, who is engaged in a Twitter tantrum with a worker in Indiana, who simply said Donald Trump was just wrong. 1,100 jobs are not being saved, 730 jobs. That's factually correct. Why is your guy attacking a worker?
I think that the reason why this person came out to say that the jobs weren't saved, the other 300 plus jobs weren't saved, I think that he was out of line. I think the fact
Who's
that
out of line?
The worker
was out of line for saying that Trump.
Union person
He was out of line for correcting the number of jobs saved.
The objective was that the President-elect Trump had the authority and the capacity and the know-how to save at least 730 jobs.
See, now that's a bunch of bullshit, okay? The objective was to save all of the jobs, okay? Not 1,100 jobs or even the 730 jobs. So all this guy did was correct the number that Donald Trump was quoting as to the jobs being saved. Donald Trump gets pissed off about it, and now she's going to defend Donald Trump and allege an ulterior motive for that guy correcting Mr. Trump. That's bullshit.
Dolores, hold on.
To save 730 jobs.
Dolores,
that's what he did.
Dolores, what authority did he have?
He's the president-elect. So he, as
a translation, he had no authority. President-elect is not an official position. That's number one. That position is equal to the position of any citizen, you or me. It's not elected. It has no authority whatsoever. All right, but she can't see that.
citizen, and as a businessman, he had the opportunity and the capacity to save 730
Dolores,
jobs.
you're wrong.
No one else did it.
Dolores, you're wrong.
Tell me how I'm wrong.
You're wrong because the president-elect has no statutory authority. He has absolutely zero. He has zero, Dolores.
In terms of...
Dolores,
okay, go ahead.
The tax incentives that were provided to Carrier were Indiana incentives. Mike Pence is the governor of Indiana.
Sure.
The only Mike Pence is the head of the economic development group that provided the incentives. That means Trump had no authority. The only person who had the authority to negotiate this deal was Mike Pence, not Donald Trump. In fact, Chuck was involved in negotiations.
Okay.
He said Trump was never even in the negotiations. All he did was make a single phone call. So how did Trump negotiate a deal?
That single phone call, you don't know what was on that single phone call.
Neither do you, okay? So how you gonna defend the guy if you don't know what was on that phone call? It was probably a bunch of bullshit, okay? But that's my opinion. But what could Trump do on a single phone call? i.e., he has no authority to offer or do anything. So that phone call, basically, other than potentially being something to do with goodwill, was worthless. She can't see that.
I think that Mr. Trump.
He was in the negotiations.
Mr. Trump had the capacity, the know-how to make
What
that
capacity?
happen.
I'm still, you keep saying capacity.
The capacity and the know-how to make it happen. How come no one else did it? How come the current administration didn't do that?
Because it is the job of the state of Indiana to negotiate the deal. Governor Mike Pence has been involved in the negotiations with Carrier and the union for months. What are you talking about?
Well, Mr. Trump is the person, and Mike Pence happens to be on the team of Mr. Trump. So I see it as a team effort to make it so.
How's it a team effort when he wasn't involved?
730 people are going to have a Merry Christmas because of Mr. Trump.
Can I show you something?
That is an absolute lie. That is an absolute lie. 730 people are going to have a potentially Merry Christmas because of Mike Pence, governor of Indiana, not because of Donald Trump.
You can show me anything you want. It doesn't negate the fact that.
Did you hear? She said that you could show me anything you want and it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's when, I throw up my hands and say, you got a brain dead black woman who all she wants to do is basically just try to overtalk people, which you're going to see ample evidence of that.
Show you something.
Under his watch.
Can I show you something?
Yes.
Do you see this photo right here? Do you see this photo?
Yes, I do.
Who's that guy in the white hair in the middle?
I don't know.
She don't even know what Mike Pence looks like. Oh, Jesus.
Pence.
That's
okay,
Mike
sure.
Pence.
Okay.
Guess what? Let me show you this here. This is a tweet from Mike Pence, Dolores.
Tweet it.
Do you see what the tweet says? Appreciate the chance to meet with Chuck Jones and hard-working men of Local 1999 about our efforts to save carrier jobs. Do you see the date? The date of this tweet is March 2nd, 2016 at 1:34 p.m. in Indiana. Mike.
That was roughly 30 days after Carrier announced that they were shutting down that plant and moving to Mexico.
Pence, Trump's vice president, tweeted several months ago that he met with Chuck Jones and the hardworking men of Local 1999 to save the carrier jobs. Yet, Shelley, pull up Donald Trump's tweets. This is what Trump said. Chuck Jones, who is president of United Steelworkers 1999, has done a terrible job representing workers. No wonder companies flee. Shelley, go back to my iPad. Dolores, this is the photo of Chuck Jones doing the very same thing Donald Trump accused them of not doing. How do you respond to that?
I'm responding with that just because you don't see President-elect Trump there doesn't mean he didn't have something to do with the deal.
Right.
Number one, back then, he wasn't even President-elect Trump. As a matter of fact, people were jumping up and down that he wasn't going to get anywhere. So what she's saying, obviously, has no credence.
Oh my God, Ray Baker, please. Ray Baker, please comment. Oh my God. Oh my God, Ray Baker, please comment.
Thanks for Christmas and New Year.
Ray, please comment.
So obviously, and outside of partisan talking points that only seek to embolden those whom we may seek to support, It's no surprise to any of us that Donald Trump has an antagonistic relationship within the union leadership, reduced dues or anything like that. Donald Trump has been flaking when he was a private businessman on respecting the rights and pay of his workers time and time again. So we shouldn't be surprised by that. I'm actually even surprised that Mr. Pence, given his anti-union stance, had the audacity to tweet something nice about the workers of 1999. And so I'm at least appreciative that he would do that.
Faraji, he is the real deal. Donald Trump is offended that a union guy criticized him and he's acting like a child.
Absolutely.
Faraji, go ahead.
Real quick, I mean, the fact is, Donald Trump, first, doesn't have anything to do with this deal. Second of all, Donald Trump has lied about what he's actually done for this deal. He didn't even have enough to say, hey, my man Mike Pence. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even give him the ball to be like, yo, my man Mike Pence got this deal done. So that's a win for
Mr. Trump put this in place, put it in action.
No, but
guys,
He's president.
he said, look.
She had the nerve to say that Donald Trump put this in place and put it in action, where you had clear evidence that work was going on as early as March of this year. But Donald Trump is going to try to take a victory lap on this thing in December.
He's your president.
With Dolores,
and he's going to do more
but Dolores,
deals like
if
this.
is how
I am so glad that he came
Dolores,
to
he didn't even do the deal.
Dolores
didn't even take a win for the team.
Dolores, read off that sheet of paper and please find me where Donald Trump was involved in any of this. Okay, all right. You know what? I can't even. No. I'm not angry. What I don't like, Dolores, is when you lie.
You're angry
when you lie.
Man,
Shelley,
just angry
pull the photo up. Pull the photo up. This is the photo of Mike Pence congratulating Chuck Jones for working. Dolores, the photo is reality. Coming up next.
See, and that's the problem. When you get these stupid ass black women that all they can do is repeat, okay, and try to overtalk you, figuring that they're going to outlast you, it just makes me sick. Now, the thing that gets me on this one also is the two gentlemen on this lady's left and right, they're both sitting there, hands folded, etc., etc. They are able to speak from their own personal knowledge. This lady, for this entire show, and I'm assuming that they told her what subjects were going to be discussed, she's sitting there with notes in front of her, okay? And all she's going to basically do, which she's done in previous segments, is read off of the damn notes. And then repeat talking points.
The paper tell you about Donald Trump.
Today, my sheet of paper tells me
that
Mr. Trump is the man of the year. He is the person that heard, captured, and understood the voice of the forgotten, hardworking American in this country. He refused to hear people. The left refused to hear their voices and their call for change. Not hope we change, but real change. And they systematically fail to listen to this group or this population in our country. These forgotten people rose up to usher in a new day for America.
How much long is that? How much long is that script?
A promise of a new America coming forth.
Okay, now here's the deal, folks. Dolores, let me show you how to read something here. Okay, these are actual poll numbers of Donald Trump supporters.
Okay.
Poll numbers.
Okay.
Based on what,
remember he won.
No, these are poll numbers. Can I read now? Let me read.
Okay.
NBC News Survey Monkey poll. 2/3 of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of American Muslims. 87% wanted to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. Reuters Ipsos poll from June. 58% of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of Muslims. 52% opposed rights for LGBT Americans. 50% of Trump backers saw blacks as violent and criminals. Let me say that again, Dolores. 50% of Donald Trump supporters saw blacks as violent and criminals. 40% said blacks were lazy and rude. Public policy poll, Dolores, from May. 65% of Trump supporters say President Obama is a secret Muslim. 59% say Obama was not born in the U.S. Pew Research Center poll this year, Dolores. 69% of Trump supporters say immigrants are a burden to America. 50% say immigrants will commit serious crimes. Hillary Clinton said basket of deplorables. I just listed 12 plus stat lines. Only one of them was under 50%, and that was when they said 40% said blacks were lazy and rude. So please tell me, how in the world can you deny with a straight black face that somehow Donald Trump did not push racial buttons in this campaign?
Let me just say this to you. I'm not going to go there in terms of determining who pushed a racial button, because wait a minute.
You're not gonna go there. Hold on, I'm sorry, Dolores. I just read polling from polling of Trump supporters.
I am an African American and a Trump supporter, and let me tell you this.
And you are a dumb ass. You are a dumb, ignorant ass. You are a dumb, ignorant, disgraceful ass.
When I walk around in the inner city, I still see failed schools, failed
here
health, failed education,
Lord, here we go.
failed
Can one of y'all please? Cause Lord, I just read. Faraji, go ahead, Lord. Faraji, go ahead. I'ma pray.
He gave the Hispanic.
Faraji, real quick, go.
He didn't do anything for African Americans.
She just lied. She just said that Donald Trump gave Hispanic Americans rights under the DREAM Act. That was an absolute lie. You're going to have to go back and turn up the sound to hear that piece of it, because I'm not going to replay that one. But anyway.
When Trump said that he did not contribute to
Your mic, Phil. Get your mic. I know. Dolores will talk your mic off. Ray, go ahead.
And the funny thing, the terrible, bittersweet irony of the Time poll was that Time came out and said, well, Hillary Clinton was our runner-up for Person of the Year. And the People's Opinion poll of who was going to be Person of the Year.
At the end of the day, she lost. Your president is president-elect.
Hold on, but the numbers are numbers.
Doesn't matter what the numbers say. The black community.
See, I can't believe she just said it doesn't matter what the numbers say. See, that's a person living in fantasy land. So no matter what you say, okay, no matter what you say, they cannot rationalize anything other than their particular point of view. So it's just a shame that this woman has gotten up on this show and exposed her stupidity and ignorance, and they are two different things, okay? Damn shame.
Dolores.
Still the way it was in 1968.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Faraji, finish one thought real quick, please.
Dolores, Ray, just talk, Ray.
Dolores,
just talk. Dolores, let him talk. Dolores, let him talk.
It is insulting to the people who watch this program, who come for serious news and analysis, when you say non-intelligent things like numbers don't matter.
Let me tell you something.
Faraji, go right ahead, brother.
Faraji, just talk.
Here's what we're looking at. Here's what we're looking at. This is
Dolores, Faraji's not going to talk.
Now, here's the thing. We're saying that when President-elect Trump said that he did not contribute contribute to the division in America. This goes right along with the code of deniability that we're seeing right across the board. And Minister Farrakhan said something in his book, Torchlight for America. He said that the biggest issue that we're seeing in leadership and in politics is the folks that are hiding the light. The fact is, this country is not in a place to make progress or even to reconcile past issues because we're not at a truthful place. And if the president all the way down doesn't, if they're not standing on the basis of truth at this point, then that's why this country is continuing to happen. If Donald Trump says, look, I didn't contribute, but he also said in a 60-minute interview, he said sometimes you have to say certain things to get people excited. This is what his words were.
His own words.
Let me tell you.
Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so normally I have What the Hell Thursday.
And this thing went so long that Roland had to cancel his What the Hell Thursday segment. But check this out. This one is funny.
So you come on the show, it's going to be What the Hell Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
That's
All right, we got Electro coming up next.
So, just a sad example of, in my opinion, a woman who don't know what the hell she's talking about and is flapping her gums just to make the wind blow. Shame.